Hi guys, this is really sad. It's almost 10 p.m. in the night of a Monday night, apparently. It's so sad. This is my jurisdiction. A news presenter for Arise News. I have just been killed, and it's an armed robbery event that happened in the early hours of today. It's so sad. I'm just reading the story on X, and it's trending, and everyone is talking about it. Arise News anchor Somtochukwu Christelle Maduagwu killed in Abuja armed robbery. Somtochukwu Christelle Maduagwu, a 29-year-old news anchor, reporter, and lawyer at Arise News Channel, died during an armed robbery at her residence in Abuja's Katangbe neighborhood on September 29th, 2025. September 29 is today. It's today. It happened today. My goodness. The Nigerian Police Force Federal Capital Territory Command has launched an investigation but has not released details on suspects or the cause of death. Colleagues remembered her as a vibrant professional, while public figures expressed condolences and highlighted ongoing security concerns in the capital. Arise News has since released a statement, and it reads in part: tragic death, Somtochukwu Christelle Maduagwu, December 26, 1995 to September 29, 2025. So quite a young girl. It says it is with heavy hearts that the management and staff of the Arise News channel announce the passing of our beloved colleague, news anchor, reporter, and producer, Somtochukwu Christelle Maduagwu. Somi tragically passed away in the early hours of Monday, September 29, 2025, following an armed robbery incident in her residence in the Katangbe area of Abuja that is being investigated by the Nigerian police. Somi 29 was not only a cherished member of the Arise News family, but also a vibrant voice that engaged and connected with our viewers. Beyond the airwaves, Somi was a lawyer who was a professional and supportive colleague and a friend to many. We extend our deepest condolences to Somi's parents, siblings, extended family, friends, and loved ones at this difficult time. Somi's voice is now silent, but her spirit, passion, and legacy will endure as part of our collective memory. We remain in shock and call for a speedy investigation, apprehension, and prosecution of the culprits. Hadiza Usman Ajayi for management. There have been a flurry of reactions, and this lady is looking stunning. God, this lady is looking everything beautiful. Damn it. God, how on earth? Katangbe is a reserved, one of the best places. Well, we can't say best, but if we talk about newer places where people go to purchase house or go to live, just like we have the Guzape area of Abuja, where new money tends to take flight. They say Wuse to Asokoro to Gariki are all old money, okay? But all those Gusape, Katangbe are actually places that are new money. So it's actually a rich neighborhood, so you would wonder, if it's a rich neighborhood, how come they didn't get their security right? I don't know. Of course, everywhere has a rich neighborhood and also has the slum neighborhood. So I wouldn't know, specifically which part, but Katangbe extensions and all that are actually very rich access, and big men there. But I should think that they should have their security all guarded there. There should be some investigation, really. Let me not speculate, because I wouldn't tell what happened. And one would really want to know whether, how did Arise News come to the conclusion that it was an armed robbery attack? I don't know. It's just crazy and complicated. Let's just take some reactions from of some persons who have put out content here. I mean, I think sometimes I think I should just not read comments, because this thing can be really, really tiring. How can somebody just from nowhere now start saying existing as Igbo in the north as a reply to somebody posting her rest in peace? This other one says, sad to hear this. Our thoughts and prayers are with her family and friends. Meanwhile, knowing her role in the society, what if it was something else, but was staged to look like an armed robbery attack? Possible. A thorough police investigation is required before we conclude. Dandy of Africa says, twice, Hausa thieves numbering up to 30 invaded our estate in local government district Abuja. My mother-in-law died in shock. I still have machete cuts on my back. My teenage son cuts on his head. Main reason I left Abuja. Wow. Okay. At Grok, Chilaka Agwomo says, at Grok, kindly verify this post with factual references and clarity. Be meticulously elaborate and detailed in explanations. And so Grok goes all out and says, the report is confirmed by multiple sources. Somtochukwu Christelle Maduagwu, a 29-year-old Arise News anchor and lawyer, was killed in an armed robbery at Katampe Extension, at Katampe Abuja home in the early hours of September 29, 2025. Nigeria police are investigating. Arise News issued a statement expressing shock and calling for justice. Chukwebuka says, legalize guns in Nigeria or dismantle the current structure of the MPF and support and fund community policing. Let everyone go back and police their home. At least they will be invested in protecting the lives and properties of their loved ones. I somewhat agree. But again, when I think of the agreement, I also think of what's happening in America. People just walk into the mall and start shooting. People walk into, a church and start shooting. I'm hoping we're not going to have that situation when we legalize guns. We're not legalized gun and look at what's going on. I thought about that too, but I also think that it's just our policing. It's just our policing, frankly. There's nothing more about this. It's just our poor policing, frankly. Whew. Ikenga says, OMG, this is very sad. The amount of innocent lives that has been lost in Nigeria is shocking. Worse is, nothing happens after the stuff like this happens. And it's like normal lifestyle. May your soul rest in peace. Indeed. This lady's too young and pretty. Man. Emmanuel Jacob says, when we demand good governance, it's because we all want a country that works for rich and poor alike. But this is what selfish leadership brings. It is the capital. If the capital isn't safe, where is? Another brilliant young lawyer gone too soon. Tragic. Oluwada Ekwano says, the collateral failure of governance is very evident in the consistent loss of lives and property in Nigeria. No part of the country is safe. Meanwhile, the government moves as if it's business as usual. No rejig of the country's security apparatus. No changes in security strategy. No proactiveness in governance. Just business as usual. You heard. Beautiful. So rest in peace. God. Salako says, barely 3 months before her 30th. Gosh. Barely 3 months before her 30th. The level of insecurity in this country is alarming. This is actually the seat of power. Then one bastard somewhere is questioning how it is the government's job to stop killings. This is so painfully sad and unfortunate. Mega Mixer is now questioning the FCT minister. He says, FCT minister, Nyesom failed Somtochukwu Christelle Maduagwu in her own home. That failure sits on your desk. Leadership owns outcomes. A leader takes the credit for the good and the bad that happened under his watch. My heartfelt condolences to Arise News and to her family and friends will share your grief and your anger. A young professional with promise is gone. That is unacceptable. Security is leadership in action. Prioritize the basics now. Light the streets. Put patrols on fixed routes with time checks. Equip entry points with reliable cameras and number plates recognition. Enforce estate standards for gates, lighting, and guards. Create a single emergency line that connects fast and guarantees a response that beats a 7-minute target. Publish weekly incidents and arrest data so all residents can see progress. Fund what works and remove what does not. Secure estate perimeters, fix broken street lights within 48 hours, and deter crime through visible consequences. Abuja must be safe at night and safe in the day. Honor Sumi's memory with results. And that's where we end this broadcast. It's a clarion call for the FCT minister. It's not about building roads, expanding roads and building bridges and construction upon construction. How about we invest more on security and securing the lives of the people of Abuja? Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.